Welcome back to my channel, The Movie Optimist, where I try and find the silver linings in even the worst of films. It was announced recently that the trailer for the upcoming Avengers movie, Avengers Doomsday, will be premiering alongside the new Avatar Fire and Ash movie coming out this Christmas. And on one hand, I think that it's very exciting and definitely going to boost the ticket sales for the Avatar film, not that it needs it. Avatar is one of the highest grossing movie franchises of all time, but I do think it's intriguing because clearly Marvel knows that. They know that Avatar is a massive franchise and they want to get their Avengers film in front of one of the biggest films of all time just to get as many eyes on it as possible. And I've said in previous videos that the trailer for this movie might arguably be one of the biggest trailers of all time. On one hand, yes, it is for an Avengers film, so naturally it's going to be a massive trailer. But on the other hand, let's be real with ourselves. And Marvel is not in the state that it used to be pre-Infinity War and Endgame, where any movie they dropped was an instant billion-dollar film because it was all culminating to the Infinity Saga, and most of the movies that they were putting out in phases 1, 2, and 3 were beloved. Marvel has been hit and miss lately, and you could try and sugarcoat it. I know that there's a bunch of super die-hard Marvel fans out there that will defend every single movie and TV show to the death, but if we're being real, I mean, they've put out some stinkers in the last couple years. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania was not that good. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever was a decent movie, but it was definitely lacking Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa, and of course Chadwick Boseman died, so naturally instead of recasting him, they decided to just do away with the character altogether, which I thought was a colossal mistake. I think T'Challa is way too important of a character, and they should have passed the baton to somebody else that could live up to the mantle, but that's besides the point. They put out a bunch of TV shows that weren't that good. Captain America: Brave New World was not that good, and they just put out a couple stinkers, and back in the day they could have dropped something like a Captain Marvel, which I thought was not that good, but it still made $1 billion because it was just the continuation of the book that everyone was reading, if you will, leading to the culmination in Infinity War and Endgame, so everyone showed up. But now this Marvel Cinematic Universe in the multiverse saga is so all over the place that people are just skipping movies now. They don't feel the need to run out and see them the way that they used to, and these movies are starting to tank financially, and everyone's always like, oh, well, who cares how much they make? What does that matter to you? I care, because if they stop making money, you know, it's not show friends, it's show business. If these movies continue to lose money, Marvel will cease to exist. It's just business. So I want them to do well, and this trailer is going to determine the tone of this film, and it's also going to determine how excited people are going to see this film. So they need to make sure that this trailer is the best version of itself that it possibly can be. And there was reports that the Russo brothers have 30 different versions of the trailer to drop because they want to make sure they get it absolutely right. And I just want to take a minute to briefly talk about who I think is even going to show up in this trailer. Now, first and foremost, let's just get the most obvious out of the way, and that's Doom. I think that 110% Doom is going to be in the trailer. The goddamn movie is called Avengers Doomsday. Of course, they're going to show him off. He is the new character. He's the person that people are most excited to see. That's not necessarily me saying I think we're going to see Robert Downey Jr. in the trailer, but I do think we're going to see Doom in his full costume in the trailer. I also do think that we're going to see the Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts in some capacity because they are directly tied to the events of Doomsday, where both the Thunderbolts and the Fantastic Four's end credit scenes were teasing Doomsday. So it just makes sense that they're both there. They're also front and center as the faces of the franchise right now. They're the thing that people like the most. Fantastic Four did not do great financially. It just broke even about $500 million, and Thunderbolts lost money, but they were still loved by everyone that did see them. So I do think that there's a 100% chance we're going to see at least some of the Fantastic Four members, maybe Reed because he has the most ties to Doom, and I do think we're going to see probably Yelena. She kind of just seems like the fan favorite, the face of the franchise right now, so I would have to imagine we're going to see her. Who else are we going to see in this? Because there's a slew of other characters that have been introduced over the last couple years, and the OG Avengers that are still around. We know that Thor is in this movie. Do I think we're going to see Thor? I think you are going to get a quick glimpse of Thor just because he is the last heavy hitter that they have. They no longer have the two heart and souls of the franchise in Captain America and Iron Man, so I think they have to kind of lean on Thor a little bit. I don't think we're going to see Spider-Man. I don't think we're going to see Doctor Strange. I don't think we're going to even see Shang-Chi, even though he's probably in it. I don't think we're going to see the Eternals. I don't think we're going to see Daredevil or any of the TV characters. I think we're going to see predominantly the Thunderbolts. We're going to see predominantly the Fantastic Four. We're going to see Doom, Thor, and I think we're going to get little glimpses of some of the Fox X-Men characters. Now, who that could be, I don't know, because there's not a lot of ties from them to Doom, so it really could be anybody. It's not like how the Fantastic Four has a direct tie to Doom, where he literally shows up in their world at the end and holds Franklin, their baby. So they could really sprinkle any of the X-Men characters in there. Do I think they're going to show Wolverine? No, I do not, because I think they're saving him for Secret Wars, for a reunion of the OG X-Men and Wolverine with Deadpool. But I do think there's a chance you can get Magneto. I do think there's a chance you can get Xavier. I do think there's a chance you can get Beast, because we've seen them in this universe already. And it's a good way to show, like, hey, we're here, but also Marvel keeps the other characters kind of close to the chest to be a surprise for us when we go to see the film. Now, one of the reasons I don't think you're going to see Spider-Man and a lot of the other heroes is because, in a lot of ways, I think that this is a multiversal nostalgia movie. I think that this is a movie for us to say goodbye to the X-Men of Fox's past, and it's their send-off movie. That's why they're bringing back almost the entirety of the X-Men, and I think that the movie is going to be really dedicated to them, the Thunderbolts, and the Fantastic Four, and whatever happens in this movie is going to lead into the events of Secret Wars, and Secret Wars is going to be the movie where everybody is in it, and I'm talking everybody from the Fox universe, everyone from the past. I think Captain America is going to be back. I think Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man is going to come back. I think all the X-Men are going to be in it. I think everybody is going to be in that movie, but that colossal event is going to be saved for Secret Wars. I think that although Doomsday is going to be big, it's going to be a lot smaller in scale compared to Secret Wars. So that's my thoughts. I think you're going to get the Thunderbolts, the Fantastic Four. I think you'll get Thor and some of the Fox characters, and of course Doom. But what say you? Who do you guys think is going to be in this trailer? Do you think it matters more that they show like a Deadpool and Wolverine to kind of boost the morale and excitement around it? Let's talk about it in the comments down below. And as always, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. I can't wait for this trailer, and I'll catch you next time.